And I just like catch myself looking at stuff for way longer. So I made a little just promise to myself to look at more beautiful stuff. I just want to see
I'm right here.
stuff. Well, other, things that maybe I haven't seen as much, like rocks or trees. I've been doing outdoor shows.
I'm so excited for you.
Oh, can I talk about my day that I had with myself yesterday?
Yes.
I don't know why, but I don't know. It's like I felt lonely yesterday because, we haven't seen most of our family or friends. Even in town, haven't seen most of our friends. More of our friends are at home. And it's weird to feel lonely and want to be alone at the same time. I don't know how many different times I felt that, but I felt it yesterday. So I was like, I don't want to see this house anymore.
Right.
I want to be out.
Right.
So I just got in my car and I was like, what's the prettiest thing? Dude, when we went to Seattle, I was like, I just want to see pretty things more often. And it was kind of like all the times when you get out of the hospital and I would walk around and be like, what?
No, I find it funny because it's like all of the times because you like spend so much time in the hospital.
Not by choice.
Yeah.
But when I get out of the hospital for something, stupid that I obviously don't want to be in there, you get out and you're just happy that the sun is the way it is and you notice how fucking green the grass is and yada, yada. And, cutting yourself off from the outside will also do that. So it's been doing that.
Yeah.
And, I just found myself I took so many walks when we went to, Seattle and just looking at just dumb shit like bushes.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of time looking at
Spider webs.
dew caught in spider webs, terrifying spider webs.
Yeah.
Just looking up at, it's so cool how Seattle is just overcast all the time. I'm sure they are just about sick of it, but that's great. And, there would be like a fog up on the tree line, the top of the trees, and the sun would be peeking through it. And it would just like look beautiful. And I just like catch myself looking at stuff for way longer. So I made a little just promise to myself to look at more beautiful stuff. I just want to see
I'm right here.
stuff. Well, other, things that maybe I haven't seen as much, like rocks or trees. So I see you're beautiful.
Thank you.
You ain't no tree though. Okay? I think we can both.
No, but I'm a brick house.
She's a brick. Huh?
Doesn't go with that.
Mighty, mighty. Let all hang out. She's a brick. So I was like, what's the easiest closest thing I could do? And I was like, Mulholland.
Yes.
So I drove on Mulholland.
It's such a great ride.
It's great. Not as cool during the day as it is maybe at Duskier.
Yeah.
There's a little yawn from Zoja. I'm sorry, my relaxating times are not the most exciting. I'm sorry, they're not the most exciting things in the world. I'm sorry, I was like, hey, please? Mike, how could you relax today? Why don't you eat firecrackers or some shit like that? I'm sorry, I took a boring drive.
I don't think it's a boring drive. I used to take that drive all the time.
So I went to Mulholland.
Yes.
And there's a couple spots you could pull off. And I was like, this will be nice. I'll get out. Maybe I'll have camera. And maybe I'll take a picture of a bird or some shit like that. So I pull into the parking lot. And every space is taken up except for one, which has the whitest, most LA 50-year-old guy standing with his arms crossed in it with his fucking Patagonia jacket or whatever the fuck. And I was like, bud, you're saving this parking spot like we're at the mall during Christmas because we're just out in nature, Right. And he was just like, yeah, I got someone coming. And it obviously was a date. And they're obviously both divorced and getting out there and trying to slip ins during Pantene Pro V. But great. I'm just saying you annoyed the fuck out of me as soon as I pulled up.
Right.
So I parked in a space where you weren't supposed to park. And if anyone showed up, Ranger Rick, Lieutenant Dan, I would be like, well, talk to fucking Patagonia Pete over there because this isn't my problem. I'll be out of your hair in a second.
Right.
I'm desperately just trying to look at something pretty in my city. Titties. Rule of 3. So I looked at stuff for a little while. There's a very nice guy who came out of the goddamn bushes who said, did you see the blue jay? Because he saw me with my camera. So many people watch birds. Shout out Frankie.
Hey.
And I was like, no, I missed it. But I looked at some stuff. I looked off a mountain for a little while. Not my favorite overlook on Mulholland. There are cooler ones.
Yeah.
But there have been times in the 7 or 8 years that we've been here where both of us have gone up there by ourselves to be better.
Yeah.
Then it's just a very nice, close little palate cleanser.
Yeah, it is. It's really nice. I remember there was one day that we had gotten into one of our biggest arguments that we've ever been in, and I drove up there for like 2 hours. And then at one point you text me, I'm sorry, I miss you.
Yeah.
Come
I was like,
home.
save me a space, save me a parking spot.
I'm going to stand in it with my arms crossed. But that fight wasn't your problem, though. It wasn't your fault, I should say. I think I came home and apologized to you.
I don't even remember.
But sometimes, you just need 5 minutes to or 2 hours.
Sometimes Zoya needs 5 minutes or 2 hours.
Yeah. I was pissed off, though.
You were probably justified.
You're justified.
Okay.
Okay.
In sync. So fucking I went up there and I saw that. I'll also say that Mulholland Drive at dusk is one of the things I have missed about going to and coming back from shows. That was the best. That's the kind of thing that I'm gonna tell our kids about if we have kids and they're like, you did stand up in LA and during this time period, how'd you not get canceled? And I was like, well, that story is for another day. But it's just beautiful and I miss it. There's something about seeing something beautiful driving on your way to go do your favorite thing.
Yeah.
And it's really great. So got pissed off at Patagonia guy, ruined my first relaxing experience. And then I was like, I'll drive up the PCH for a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I did that. And you just look to your left. I was going north. So you look to your left and there's just people having fun on the beach. Yeah. And with their friends and playing volleyball, hanging with the boys. Mm-hmm. And they just look like they were having a great time. Families that are annoyed with each other, looking for a parking spot for beach parking. And it's great. And then I was like, I'm going to take one of these random rights where Sunset feeds off onto the PCH or something like that. And I'll try to figure out my way home. And I wasn't using navigation or anything. Mm-hmm. And with all these, comedians and this mass exodus from Los Angeles, I don't want to move now because I finally know how to get around. Yeah. And that took me years. Yeah. But I surprised myself with how many back roads I knew. Yeah. You just figure it out after a while. Yeah. And that felt nice and familiar, and that made me feel good. And I was like, okay, that was a nice drive. Don't feel like driving anymore, but do feel like going home. Don't feel like going into the apartment though. So what's next? So I fucking walked to the one, I would say, vendor that has never let me down, right, ever in my entire life. And that's the beignet box truck. That was parked on Ventura Boulevard. And I walked miles with my backpack on, with a camera that I didn't take out of my backpack, but should have because I had such a great time. And I fucking walked to the beignet box truck. I got us beignets.
Which was a really great treat.
Hot beignets, right? Mm-hmm. Powder sugar. They're going to have hoodies next month. If I don't get a beignet box hoodie, it's over for these hoes.
I think you need to get a beignet box truck hoodie for someone else, too.
You going to get 2 for myself?
No.
I don't think my mom would give half a shit about a beignet box hoodie.
There's someone that hates beignet box, and I think you should gift it to them.
Who hates beignet box?
Do you not remember on the Discord?
Are you talking about Heather? There is no reason to hate the beignet box truck, hot beignets, and I think that she knows that. And I think that she knows it doesn't make sense to hate a truck that sells beignets and water and iced coffee.
Yes.
So eat them.